Yeah, so the options are, as you can see, V8, Porsche Cup, GT3, Stock Car Brazil, and LMP3. I just put some more of them in as usual to just for the draw. And I think we are ready to select 2.
Cars that we've had so far in server 1 is Porsche Cup and Renault Clio Cup. It looks like one of the cars that we're gonna draw out of will be Stock Car Brazil. A car that we've never had in the W12 series, so that will be a first. The other car will be the V8 supercar. So 2 cars with the same characteristics, I would say, or similar characteristics. Mirko, let's see which track we will go to.
Yeah, definitely similar as you said, but still different. So let's move on to the track options. We removed the tracks we run already, and I think we are ready to go to select 2 of them.
Right, those tracks removed. Fuji from last week, of course, which gave us a banger of a race. Looks like Oschersleben is going to be one of the tracks that we can draw out of. And of course, not to forget Sao Paulo, which gave us a great race in the Porsche Super Cup. A second track. It can't be one of the 2 I just mentioned. Indianapolis road course. That would be an interesting one to go to with both of the cars. So would Oschersleben be. So let's see which track it's going to be. Oschersleben or Indianapolis road course. I don't think, Mirko, we've had Oschersleben yet in the W12 series.
Yeah, that's true. I think we never raced there. We did have a race at Indianapolis, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
I think it was GT4.
Yes, GT4s that was. Won by a McLaren. Don't know exactly who it was, but I know that McLaren was very dominant at that track. Of course, this can't be the case now, because GT4 has been moved to the draw for server 2, and GT3 has been moved forward.
Yep, so whenever you're ready, I think we can select the track.
Let's do it. Let's see which track we're going to go to. It's either going to be Oschersleben or Indianapolis. We're either going to go to America or to Germany. And it's going to be another close one, but we're going to go to America. Indianapolis road course is going to be the one. But now the question is, Mirko, which car are we going to go to America with? None of those cars originally from America. The V8s, of course, from Australia, and of course, Stock Car Brazil. Well, the name says it, from Brazil. So then,
gonna be for sure a new combination.
Yes.
So let's find out the first combination for tonight. In which car we're gonna race at Indianapolis. Let's go.
So then, V8 supercars or Stock Car Brazil. It's going to be a close one, like the track was as well. But it's going to be Stock Car Brazil at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course.
Right, I think that's it for the draw. The server will be made now. Make sure to stay connected, and it's gonna be online in the next few minutes. So good luck, everyone. See you after the first server back here for the draw of the second one. Good luck.
We will see you in a bit. Hang around and watch till the stream continues. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you may be in the world, and welcome to week number 3 for the W12 Sprint Series. You've seen the draw and you've seen the track and cars that we are using at the moment. We are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're at IMS for the IMS road course with the Brazilian stock cars. That's going to be an amazing combination. I've talked to some of the drivers. It's a very, very difficult car to get the hang of, but once you do get the hang of it, it's a very, very satisfying car to drive. Excuse me for that. Well then, of course, coming into this race, we have to take a look at the championship. And this time we'll start with the Silver Championship. Quinten Verdonk leading the way there ahead of Jan Lins. There are talks of Quinten Verdonk moving to the overall class and not being a silver anymore. Jan Lins in P2 and Tom Leitgeb in P3. 3 points in between those two. Florian Stadtmann in P4, only 1 point behind Tom Leitgeb. Davy Uwema on 12 points and 1 point ahead of Christoph Steiner in 6th. Torsten Gross in 7th on 10 points together with Marnixheister. He hasn't competed for a while, neither is he competing this evening. Matthew Ralton on 9 points in P9. Stefano Pellegrino on 7 points in P10. Philippe Hugrin in 11th. In 12th it's Chris Meyer. Then Mario Trummer, 14th for Markus Deutsch on 3 points. And then the last one with points is Michael Dörlinger. Over to the overall championship then. The golds and the silver drivers. Jonas Varna is leading the way there on 119 points together. And look how close that is with Mirko Bozzolotti and Lucas Müller. All 3 of them on 119 points, followed by Hendrik Augustin on 80 points. 63 points for Marius Zug. Florian Becker in 6th on 56 points. 54 points for Walter Lux. Then 48 points for Niels Langeveld ahead of Jens Fiedler on 39 points. Martin Stadtmann on 29 points. 28 points for both Hugo Ropp and Winston Eckel. Hugo Ropp has done 2 races. Winston Eckel has done 1. Also those 2 former teammates. 27 points for Pascal Haas in 13th. Quinten Verdonk in 14th, the leader of the silver class. 23 points for Mariko Jordanovski. Hendrik Störa in the 16th on 22 points. 17 Chanter on 21 points. 19 points for both Benedikt Hitz and Christoph Steiner. And then Benny Moser on 18 points. Further down in the championship on 11 points, it is Martin Florian Stadtmann on 9. 5 for Jan Lins, Tom Leitgeb on 4. 3 for Torsten Gross. 2 for Matthew Rauter and Davy Uwema, and 1 point for Stefan Capella. Those are the championships as they stand at the moment. We have about 1 minute and 30 left of this practice session. The drivers have had about half an hour of practice. That's all they get to do with. And then they have to go to battle. First, of course, is that one-shot qualifying that we have as always, which is going to be an interesting one for sure. So stick with us for that one. Now, after we have had this practice session, the drivers will immediately go out because they only have about 5 minutes. Lap times here, 1 minute 30. If you want to have a normal out lap, you're going to be about 2 minutes. Plus the 1 minute 30 is 3 minutes 30. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I can count, although they say never trust the commentator on his math. But I trust you. You can trust me on that one. So then, with 3 minutes 30, there isn't much time to spare. If you do make a mistake before you get to the green flag, there isn't much time for you to go round again. So it really all has to be perfect. 1 shot and 1 chance. Of course, all previous pole positions this season taken by Jonas Varna. All right then, here we go into qualifying. Into a 5-minute qualifying session. All right then, let's go on board with the man who's taken the previous pole positions. And of course I'm talking about no less than Jonas Vana. So then this warm-up lap will be important for all the drivers, getting their tires at the temperature, which is very difficult really to do in these cars. Let's see if Jonas Vana can continue his streak of taking pole position in Server 1 this season. No one else but Jonas Vana has done that so far. For this, we can go on board with Jonas Vana onto the straight. He's going to accelerate now. He's going to take all the acceleration he can. Not too high revs here. Alright, into turn 1. Early braking because you want to set up for actually turn to the left-hander after that. This is a very tricky and difficult section. Lots of mechanical grip required from this car. Not too much else in these cars. Jonas Vana in pretty high gears everywhere. That seems to be the strategy then. At least we assume, because this man has taken all the previous pole positions and he's purple in section 1 again. See what he can do in Sector 2. He's purple there again, but purple in Sector 1 has been taken by Niels Langeveld. 2 different car manufacturers possible, Toyota and Chevrolet. Toyota very much the favourite one here. We only have 6 Chevrolets, the rest is all Toyota. There's Jonas Vana, only green in Sector 3. You can see it on the bottom of your screen now. He will be the first one to come across the line. Benedict hits purple in the 3rd sector. That now has been taken away by Lucas Miller. So we're seeing purples for everyone and anyone. But who is in the end going to set the fastest lap time? You only have one shot across the line for Jonas Vana. What lap time is he going to do as first one across the line? It's going to be a 130.46, a 131.48. Behind that from Martin Stammmann. Benedict hits on a 113.5. Walter Lux is one of the drivers who is going to be challenging him for that pole. Across the line from Walter Lux. Can he take pole position away from Jonas Vana? At the moment, he can. It's not going to be a Jonas Vana pole position, and by what a margin that is. 129.88 for Walter Lux. Only a 130.46 for Jonas Vana. My goodness me. That is not what I expected. And that means that we've got a new pole sitter in server 1. And that pole sitter is Walter Lux, because everyone has done their qualifying. Lucas Camber, what is he doing at the moment? He's already set a lap time, so his lap time won't count if he does set one. But I don't think he's going to be close enough. In fact, I'm sure he won't be close enough to set a lap time. A little bit of a lock-up, so it won't be an improvement anyways. But big differences here in the field with these Brazilian stock cars. Seems like a very tricky car to drive. Mirko Bortolotti in P5. So damage control for him there in that qualifying session. Well then, to a warm-up session we go. 6 minutes of warm-up session. Are we gridding already? No, we're gridding already. Excuse me. Well, here we go then. Let's take a look at the grid. It's Walter Lux in P1, Benedict Hits P2, Mirko Bortolotti in 3rd, Henrik Steurer 4th, Hendrik Augustin in 5th, 6th for Maximilian Paul, 7th Martin Stadtmann, 8th Jens Fiedler, Christoph Steiner 9th, Florian Stadtmann 10th, 11th Chris Meyer, and 12th Jan Linz. 13th is Christian Ablasser, 14th Tom Leitgeb, 15th Mario Trummer, 16th Hugo Sasse, and 17th Thomas Egelwolf. As always, as we are known for here this season, with the W12 Sprint Series, we're going to have a standing start. That standing start is going to be led by Walter Lux. And it's lights out and we're underway at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A good start from Walter Lux. Benedict Hits immediately trying to put alongside Big Crash in the background as well. Who was involved in that? That seems to be Jan Linz, Mario Trummer, Christian Ablasser, and Thomas Egelwolf, who were involved in that into turn 1. It looks like it's Benedict Hits. When we go back to live pictures, it's Benedict Hits indeed, who has taken over first position. Mirko Bortolotti on cold tires seems to be quick as well. Hendrik Augustin in P3 up 2 positions, but Henrik Steurer in 4th stays where he is. Walter Lux in P13 has lost 12. Huge mistake from Walter Lux. But now it's just keeping it clean. Making sure that you make no mistake. And when you do that, you can fight for victories, and you can fight in this case for the pole position for the feature race. You don't need to qualify in pole position. As long as you're in the top 5, you immediately go through to the feature race. There won't be any consolation race for you then. So that, I think, is what Benedict Hits is hoping for. But Mirko Bortolotti hot on his gearbox. The Shell V-Power car. That is Benedict Hits. The Kazakhs, the golden black car. That is Mirko Bortolotti. Behind that, in the Castrol living car, that is Hendrik Augustin. And then in the Elf car behind that, it is Henrik Steurer in the 63. Into turn 1 once again, coming through to complete another lap. So far, it has been a good start from Mirko Bortolotti. That's all you could have asked for. Starting from P5 here, that means he's at least gained 3 positions in this race. That means he's almost gained 6 positions in overall standing. Now he would start from P3, else he would start from P10. Or P9, excuse me. So it's a good gate for Mirko Bortolotti in the overall. Here is Walter Lux trying to find his way through the field. Of course, these heat races are so short that it's so difficult to make your way through the field again. That is what Walter Lux is having to deal with at the moment. Florian Stadtmann isn't the easiest to overtake anyways. He knows how to make his car as wide as possible. He knows how to defend as best as possible. Different line from the 3 drivers. A better exit from Walter Lux. But with the slipstream from the guys ahead, I don't think it will do too much. A little bit out of shape. Who was that one in front? That's Chris Meyer, who was out of shape in the 116. He's now gotten past that one. So that's another position gain. But I don't think Walter Lux is going to be able to get back up into the top 5. There's the tower on the left-hand side. oi, oi, oi. That is him off once again. Walter Lux is not going to start from the front row. He's not going to have a respectable starting position because he's dropped down to P13 once again. Jens Fiedler in a battle with Hugo Zasse. Hugo Zasse in the number 8 on the left-hand side of screen. Right-hand side of screen for Florian Stadtmann. Maximilian Paul trying to make his way through as well. He has done so successfully in the 71. Or excuse me, he's behind him in the 71. In the Toyota livery, the Toyota Gazoo livery Toyota. Against Fiedler, stays in P7. Straight behind his direct rival Hugo Zasse. And a little bit of a bigger gap to Martin Stadtmann. There you can see the gaps on the left-hand side. And it's not too big of a gap for P2. Mirko Bortolotti under pressure from Hendrik Augustin. This is going on to the last lap. Can Mirko Bortolotti hang on to it? For the moment, down in the turn 1 he can, but Hendrik Augustin gets paralyzingly close to the back of Mirko Bortolotti. Takes a different line into turn 3. That's presumably for a better exit out of 4. That will give him a better run onto the straight if this is flat. And they both keep it as pinned to the floor as they can. But Hendrik Augustin is going to go for a last lap dive on Mirko Bortolotti. He has a little bit of a look, but he thinks the better of it. And from what I can see right now, he's going to finish behind. He's almost virtually pushing him through the corners. Mirko Bortolotti missing a bit of pace compared to Benedict Hitz at the front. And all things considered then with Mirko Bortolotti, that it will be an amazing result if he can hang on to P2, which would effectively be P3 in the race. Once again, a little look to the inside from Hendrik Augustin. That isn't quite it, but he's putting Mirko under pressure. Different line for Mirko. This could put him vulnerable on the exit. Not the best of exits either for Hendrik Augustin, but he's right behind him. It is Benedict Hitz who's going to win this race. It's going to be a drag race to the line between these two, Hendrik Augustin and Mirko Bortolotti. It's going to be Mirko Bortolotti who hangs on by a mere 10th of a second. And that is a brilliant race from the two of them. Mirko Bortolotti is going to start P3. Hendrik Augustin is going to start P5. Henrik Steurer is going to start P8. And Martin Stadtmann is going to start P10. All of these drivers that I just said, including Benedict Hitz, who won the race through to the feature race immediately. And the rest is going to go into a consolation race later on now. Chris Meyer, he finished P12 in this race. Jan Lins, there he was, and Mario Trummer doing some donuts on the grass. He still has to finish this race, I think. If I'm not wrong, he still has to finish this race. Yes, he has. Is he going to do that in time, though? Is he going to finish in time? The 4:44 from Mario Trummer. Mario Trummer. Excuse me. Yeah, he is. I love the sound of these cars. Absolutely amazing cars. I've never driven them myself, but from what it looks like, I have to give them a go at some point. Because they look amazing. Well then, on to heat race number 2. Let's look at the grid for this one then. Here we go. This is the grid for race number 2. Heat race number 2. Jonas Warner starts from pole. Lucas Müller in second. Marius Stoek third. Winston Eckel in fourth. Niels Langeveld fifth. Florian Becker sixth. Marinko Jordanovski in 7th. Quinten Verdonk 8th. Lucas Camber 9th. Ben Buurnagel in 10th. 11th for Torsten Gross. Michael Deurlinger in P12. Philippe Hugrin P13. Stefano Pellegrino 15th or 14th. 15 Matthew Rauten and Hugo Rob in P16. So then, waiting for the race to get underway. There we go, the gridding is done now. We're waiting for Matthew Ralston at the moment. That will be it. There are the 5 red lines. 1, 2, 3. That is very late. But we're underway already. The 5 red lights have gone out. And it is Lucas Müller leading us away in front of Jonas Wanne. Jonas Wanne immediately losing that position off the line. Marius Zoek now behind him to try and make that pass the inside though for Jonas Wanne. That will give him the advantage going into the right-hander, but it isn't quite enough to keep him in front. And that means that Lucas Müller is leading the way ahead of Jonas Wanne. So a good start from Jonas Wanne. Carnage in the background. The 17 of Winston Eckel is trying to make his way there as well. Trying to make some room for himself. So then, 5 minutes left, 1 minute passed already. Mirko Bortolotti, he is passed. Let's see what Jonas Wanne can do. At the moment, he is P2 as well. But, more importantly, Lucas Müller, the man who is first with them together. Because remember, we have a 3-way tie at the top of the championship of the 2 rounds. He is leading this race, so the top 3, as it stands, in the championship will start P2, 3, 4. Which tells you why they're so high up at the moment. Lucas Müller waiting for Jonas Wanne to do something. Jonas Wanne is not going to do anything. Is patiently waiting for Jonas Wanne. And he gets through eventually. Lucas Müller once again. A good fight between these two. Further back in the field, it's Florian Becker together with Winston Eckel. This is for the last top 10 position and the position that immediately goes through to the feature race. As all drivers will tell you, it takes some pressure off your shoulders once you go through immediately. Because there's no time to wait. Winston Eckel was struggling in practice with this car. He's now behind Niels Langeveld. I can guarantee you one thing, Winston Eckel is learning with every corner that he turns from Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld seems like he knows what he's doing in these cars, defending really well. Winston Eckel trying to find his way past, trying to force the mistake on Niels Langeveld. The other Kazakh car, the 74 of Florian Becker. Now he's going to try and make his way through on Winston Eckel. The both of them, Niels Langeveld and Becker. Brilliant teamwork between the two. And that means that Winston Eckel is now on the back foot coming onto the straight. That is definitely no ideal defensive though for Florian Becker. To Lucas Kambert on the outside. They're very colourful livery. And that defense turns into an attack when when Winston Eckel just turns in. Lucas Kambert had to stamp, or Florian Becker had to stamp on the brake. And Lucas Kambert had a chance to make his way around the outside rather. That's a very audacious move in that corner, but if the driver ahead makes a little mistake, that is definitely possible. Contact there between Quinten Verdonk and Lucas Kambert. Quinten Verdonk once again leading in the silver class. Here's the battle for the lead. Lucas Müller ahead of Jonas Wanne. Lucas Müller in the Shell V-powered car. And Jonas Wanne behind that. In the mobile sponsored livery car. Alright then, coming on to the last lap now then. Lucas Müller has held on for quite a while now. Let's see if he can hang on for this last lap. Let's see if Jonas Varna is going to be able to do something. No, he is not. He's still behind him going into the braking zone of turn 1, Florian Becker. Is he going to be trying to do something on Winston Eckel? No, he is not. Winston Eckel is slower at some parts of the track, quicker at others. But there's only one lap for him to hang on. Lucas Müller, one lap for him to hang on as well. And that seems like a little bit more of a difficult task at the moment. Because from what I can see, it's only 2 tenths in between the two. That means as Jonas Varna is all over the back of Lucas Müller. And what can Lucas Müller do about it? Absolutely nothing. Try and not make a mistake, which will make him vulnerable if he does. So let's hope for his sake that that won't be the case. The clock is going to hit 0 very soon. To the inside goes Lucas Müller to defend from Jonas Varna. These two are going to scrap out to the line. Different lines from both drivers. A better exit from Jonas Varna. He's going to use that to good effect. Both Toyotas fight each other to the line, but I think it's going to be Jonas Varna who's going to get it. Or Lucas Müller who's going to get it over Jonas Varna. And indeed, that is the case. A brilliant drive, but the top 3 in the championship will start P2, 3 and 4. That will promise some fireworks. And a good race from Lucas Müller. Let's see where some of the other drivers are. Marinko Jordanovski, he's in the pits. Drivers coming through. Philippe Ugrin, he's the last one to cross the line. In the 333. But 2 very great races that we've seen. Winston Eckel has also overtaken Niels Langeveld. Something happened to Niels Langeveld probably on that last lap. That means Winston Eckel P4, Florian Becker through to the feature race. And Niels Langeveld's going to have to do the consolation race from P2. Across the line for Philippe Ugrin. And that completes this race as well. On to the consolation race then. Let's take a look at the grid for that one. My goodness me. SDK not working with us this evening. Here we go. Let's hope it's fixed now. Hugo Zasse will start from the pole ahead of Niels Langeveld in P2. Like I just said, not ideal for the Dutchman. Then P3 for Jens Fiedler, 4th for Lucas Kramberg, 5th for Hans Stadtman, 6th Quinten Verdonk, Christoph Steiner 7th, Stefano Pellegrino 8th, Tom Leitgeb 9th, Marinko Jordanovski in P10, Walter Lux P11, Ben Buhnagel in P12, P13 for Chris Meyer, P14 Thorsten Gross, Mario Trummer P15, Hugo Rob 16th, Maximilian Paul in 17th, and that's all we have time for.
Green flag, green flag.
Because we have to go to the green flag. There are the lights. And we're underway at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for 5 minutes of racing. And it is Hugo Zasse who leads us away ahead of Jens Fiedler. Niels Langeveld dropping even further back in the field. They're both 30 plus cars. Lucas Kramberg and Jens Fiedler having a good start, already attacking the leader in the race, Hugo Zasse. Onto the back straight then, a better exit and a better line for Jens Fiedler. This could be job done, this could be P1 for Jens Fiedler if he manages to pull alongside Hugo Zasse in the braking zone, and at the moment it looks like he is. He has to leave him space now. He is there. He knows he's there. But he manages to keep his nose in front. And Hugo Zasse remains in the lead in this race. Niels Langeveld has climbed his way back up to P3. Still lost the position from where he started. Lucas Grambe in P4, chasing them down. To the inside goes Niels Langeveld and Jens Fiedler. Jens Fiedler giving him a lot of racing respect and racing room. That means that Niels Langeveld can make it a Gas X1-2, and he does so on the exit of the last corner. Here comes Florian Stadtmann. Also a Gas-X car. Look at the amount of Gas-X cars that you have within the top 10. I think half of the top 10 is Gas-X cars. Yes, six Gas-X cars in the top 10. That is unbelievable. Niels Langeveld onto the back of Hugo Zasse. Niels Langeveld knows he's quicker than his teammate, but he's prone to some mistakes sometimes. That is what has killed his race pace so far over the heat race. Made a mistake in the last lap of the heat race. That gave, I think, Florian Stadtmann the chance to continue through into the feature race. Oh, excuse me, Florian Stadtmann is in here at the moment. A little bit of a defensive line from Hugo Zasse in the background. The attack on Florian Stadtmann from Lucas Grambe. Front now, Jens Fiedler on the attack, or Jens Fiedler attacking Niels Langeveld. This is the small mistakes that I told you about from Niels Langeveld, sometimes to the outside for Jens Fiedler. He's going to have to carry it all the way around, and he's not going to do that. Rather, he's going to slot back in and try and get a better exit, but the leader in the race is off. Oh my goodness me, Hugo Zasse has binned it on the exit of turn 2. Oh my goodness me. That is not ideal at all. Well then, that gives Niels Langeveld, his teammate, the first place ahead of Jens Fiedler. So Niels Langeveld looks like he's going to start, or he's going to finish where he started. But first we have another lap connected to this. So then Niels Langeveld enters the last lap. And Jens Fiedler is right behind him chasing. But in the background, here's the battle between the Gas-X team. The inter-team battle. Hugo Rob goes ahead of Marinko Jordanovski and is now trying to make his way through on Florian Stadtmann. Oh, Florian deep. That was good driving from the both of them. But the three of them have crashed. My goodness me. It's Gas-X, drama, and another one. Oh, my goodness. That is, who is that? Mario Trummer. No, it was not Mario Trummer. But goodness me, ladies and gentlemen, 4 Gas-X cars out at the same corner. I can't believe my eyes. 5 Gas-X cars out at the same corner, 4 at the same time. A lap earlier, it was the leader of the race at the time, Hugo Zasse, who made his way round all on his own. A lap later, it's 3 Gas-X cars that collide, and then a 4th one comes up, but a stupid, really stupid rejoin. I think that was Marinko Jordanovski who came back onto the track. I'm not particularly sure because all the Gas-X cars look the same. Niels Langeveld goes off as well. That might give the lead to Jens Fiedler. Jens Fiedler with the better exit to the outside of the last corner. But it is, I think, going to be Niels Langeveld who's going to hang on. But goodness me, that is some Gazex drama in the later stages of the consolation race. My goodness, I have no words for that, really. Honestly, no words. Christian Ablasa, for good sake, goes off again. Just for some good luck. But my oh my, was that calamity for the Gazex team. Four cars involved in the same incident, and 4 cars are Gazex cars. You can't write the script. All right then, across the line for Christian Ablasa into a minute warm-up now, and then we go into a feature race, an 18-minute feature race, in which we have to make a pit stop. So that will be interesting. People trying to figure out the best strategy, meanwhile being busy with fighting other drivers as well. Alright then, that gives us some time to relax. At the end of what were 3 very chaotic races, we have a little bit of time to breathe, 1 minute, and then we go into the feature race. Just to give everyone a little bit of a break. Also the drivers that had to race in Heat 2 and the consolation race. Alright then, let's take a look at the grid. How the grid is going to look for this feature race. Benedict Hitz is going to start from pole position. Lucas Müller in second. Mirko Bocciolotti in third. And Jonas Vana in fourth. As I said, the top 1, 2 and 3 in the championship starting second, third and fourth. Hendrik Augustin in fifth. And Marius Soek 6th. Hendrik Stöger 7th. Winston Eckel 8th. Martin Stadtmann 9th. Florian Becker 10th. Niels Langeveld 11th. Jens Fiedler in P12. 13 for Walter Lux, 14 Lucas Kramberg, Christoph Steiner 15, Stefano Pellegrino 16, Chris Meyer 17, Torsten Gross 18, Ben Buhnagel 19, Quentin Verdonk 20th, Philippe Legrand 21st, Marinke Jordanovski 22nd, Mario Trummer P23, Florian Stadtmann P24. Well then, everyone is getting ready.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag. And that is now in the background. One of the cars had to start sideways, and there's a big starting crash. Goodness me, it's all kicking off in the background. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can you tell me what's happening here? I think one of the cars spun off the start, and that caused all kinds of trouble. Once again, these are very tricky cars on the opening laps, but spinning from your grid box, that is amateur hour in the W12 Sprint Series. Server number 1 feature race, and that is a lot of drivers already out of the fight of anything good before it has even started. So a car in between all of them. Augustin in 6th, ahead of Stöger in 7th, Winston Eckel in 8th, Jens Fiedler in 9th, and Walter Lux rounding off the top 10. A move has been made between these two. The 11th car of Stöger dropping back. Jonas Vana is going to make a very early pit stop. That means that it is possible to still recover. Chris Meyer has gone back to pit lane. But my goodness me, we had a crazy end to the consolation race, and we have a crazy start to the feature race. The hotel both of these Shell V-powered cars from Doha Esports. They're trying to keep a bit of a gap to Mirko Bortolotti. Benedict Hitz knows how important it is for Lucas Müller to do a good job. Plus he's helping himself with second in this race. That will move him up a couple of spots in the championship as well. So all in all, Mirko Bortolotti needs to get past these guys if he wants to gain something else. Leading out of this first server on the championship will be Lucas Müller with a consistent and very quick performance. But hey, I don't know what we're talking about because there's still 15 and a bit more minutes to go. We've only had 3 and there's still pit stop in it, there's still strategy in it. But loads of drivers in the pit lane at the moment. Tom Leitgeb, Hugo Rob, Matthew Ralston, Rico Durlinger and Chris Meyer. All 5 of them in pit lane, most of them coming out again. Here's a battle for P26. This is Maximilian Paul, who's trying to make his way around both Ben Buhnagel and Florian Stadtmann. Is he going to make his way through? Philippe Hugin was, in the 333, the 911. That is Ben Buhnagel taken care of. And Maximilian Paul continues on his way. Bit of a battle between these two as well. Thomas Egelwolf defending from Stefano Pellegrino and from Torsten Gross. Off at turn 1, who was that? Mario Trummer. Now it's gone round at turn 1. I'm going to take a look now that we have a little bit of a quieter face in this race. Here we go with Mario Trummer. Take a look at the front. Oh, there's contact. One car just didn't get off its line, and it's the 911. The 911 from Ben Buhnagel that made contact, and carnage followed afterwards. So Ben Buhnagel made contact with the car ahead of him that didn't get off the line at all. That's where the damages and the chaos came from. So then still Lucas Müller leading the way ahead of Benedict Hitz, then Mirko Bortolotti, then Marius Zug ahead of Henrik Augustin. These two wrapped in a battle with each other. The BS Plus competition. Toyota having trouble with the Castrol Racing. Toyota behind that, that is the Impulse Racing car from Henrik Augustin to the outside now. Marius Zug professionally defends the inside, knows where to put his car. And I was almost going to say through he goes, but he doesn't. He has to stick behind at the moment. Marius Zug putting that car in all the right places for Henrik Augustin not to get past. Well then, P6, Henrik Steuer. Winston Eckel right behind him. Jens Fiedler in P8, P9 for Quinten Verdonk, and P10 for Christian Ablasser. Let's take a look at where the fights are at the moment. Ben Buhnagel is dropping down. That's because he has had a spin going into turn 1. That is the 911 once again. It's getting chaotic. We like a bit of a chaotic race. I thought Ben Buhnagel was going to go round again. Very loose rear end. Florian Stadtmann ahead of Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld at the moment seems to be the quicker car, but can't really make amends to Stadtmann. Both Stadtmanns are racing. Martin Stadtmann and Florian Stadtmann. And Stadtmann still ahead of Niels Langeveld, someone who had a very good week last week. but less so this time round. He goes into pit lane. That means that he's going to go for an undercut. Let's see what that brings him. He was in P18 when he pitted. Write it down, P18 for Niels Langeveld. And let's see where he's going to come out after all pit stops have cycled through. Benedict hits into pit lane. Mirko Bortolotti continues. That might tell you something. That might tell you that Mirko Bortolotti was saving fuel. And might just want to play the strategy game, see what he can do in the pit stops. That has so far been Mirko's strong point, the pit stops. 10 minutes to go here. We're almost halfway in this race. Mirko Bortolotti is leading ahead of Henrik Steuer, Hendrik Augustin in third, Winston Eckel fourth, and Jens Fiedler in fifth. Quinten Verdonk, what a race once again from him. If the rumors are correct that he might be moved to the overall championship instead of the silver, then that would be totally justified if I look at where Quinten Verdonk is. But Christian Ablasa, not too bad either. P7 at the moment, however, there is more than 15 seconds in between those two drivers. So Quinten in a complete different league compared to Christian Ablasa. Here's a fight between Florian Stadtmann and Hugo Zasse. Hugo Zasse in the number 8, Florian Stadtmann in the 153. Florian Stadtmann does not want to give this one up. Rightly so, Mirko Bortolotti is now into pit lane. And everyone is pulling into pit lane. Storer, Augustin, Eckel, Fiedler, Verdonk probably as well. Yes, Verdonk as well, and that means that Lucas Müller is now the next car, and he has already made his pit stop. Christian Ablasa will likely pull into pit lane as well. All these lights flashing, it's like a Christmas tree. It's such a long and slow and painful pit lane here at IMS. And off goes Mirko Bortolotti. Where's Müller in all of this? There's Müller. He releases the pit limiter now. And it's not going to be enough because Müller and Hitz both get through. And he has to watch out that Jonas Warner doesn't get through either. Jonas Warner has his tires up the temp and is in the rhythm. This is the battle for P2 in the championship at the moment. Jonas Warner around the outside of Mirko Bortolotti. He lets him live. Mirko Bortolotti, Jonas Warner lets Mirko Bortolotti live. There's contact between the two, but it looked like net code there as well. But Jonas Warner is going to pay the price for that. And there's early championship drama between the two. Mirko Bortolotti after contact with Jonas Warner off the track. So then, Jonas Warner dropped all the way back now to P9, has regarded himself a bit. And is going to try and make up some positions. This is a huge battle though, these three fighting over 6th position. Winston Eckel on the right hand side. In the middle, it's Walter Lux, Henrik Steuer on in the middle. Walter Lux on the left hand side of screen, excuse me. Walter Lux looks to have the overhand right now. Mirko or Winston Eckel around the outside with the better exit, gets the throttle down quickest And with that, keeps P6. This is brilliant racing from the three of them. In the background, it is Henrik Störa. Don't tell me that one of the cars has just gone round again. I think one car has just gone round again. Yeah, that was that Gazoo liveried car. Don't know who that was a back marker anyways. Waterlux on the back now of Winston Eckel. Winston Eckel, if he can keep hang of that 6th position, that would be a really good result for him. Taking into account that he does not like this car at all, does not get to terms with it, does not get to grips with it at all. So we're going to see what Winston Eckel can do. So then I think we go on board for a lap with the man himself, Walter Lux. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a lap on board of this IMS road course. But in the midst of all of that, Winston Eckel and Walter Lux have caught up to the two in front of them. They have been fighting all around. Winston Eckel now loses that position. With 3 minutes to go, he drops behind all of them. But he's going to go nice and easy. Walter Lux now has gained 2 positions in the blink of an eye. That is where Winston Eckel is going to pounce. I knew that Winston Eckel had something up his sleeve. Now he has to watch out though for the car behind him. He drops back into the slipstream of Henrik Augustin. But these four are going to fight it out to the end. It's going to become a 5-horse race once Henrik Störa enjoys this battle as well. Walter Lux is going to be behind Marius Zug now. Marius Zug has been able to keep Henrik Augustin behind him for this whole race, almost virtually pushing Walter Lux past Marius Zug, maybe to try and follow him through. Forcing Marius Zug defensive now. Around the outside goes the Castrol car. That is Henrik Augustin, and he makes that stick. Winston Eckel around the outside as well. That opens the door for the 63. Winston Eckel, instead of being 5th, he is now 8th. And that is how quickly it can go downhill here. 2 laps left. 2 laps for anyone in this group to make up some positions. The positions at the front are pretty much settled. Lucas Müller is going to finish ahead of Benedikt Hitz if nothing crazy happens. And Bortolotti is going to finish in P3, but the battle is behind that. Marius Zug still ahead of Henrik Augustin. Henrik Augustin has re-overtaken Walter Lux. Winston Eckel behind that in P7. He's overtaken Störa again. So everyone back to the positions where they were if Winston Eckel and Walter Lux change positions now. But my goodness, Marius Zug has been able to keep Henrik Augustin behind him for this whole race. Has been able to soak up the pressure, and I have a feeling that there might be a launch coming maybe on the next lap on the last lap of the race from Hendrik Augustin. He's completely done with it. You can see the body language of that car. And I think Walter Lux just went off. Walter Lux just went off the track, didn't he? I think he did. Yes, indeed. Walter Lux here is feeling the pressure. Oh, was that after contact maybe with Winston Eckel? That would explain. Winston Eckel went off track. No contact, it seems like, between the two of them. They're both just out-braking themselves. Monkey see, monkey does. For Winston Eckel, he sees that Walter Lux ahead of him, brakes at one point and he brakes at exactly the same point. You can become blinded sometimes when that happens. But finally, Hendrik Augustin has gotten past Marius Zug, and that is well deserved after the pressure that he puts on him. But a stellar defense from Marius Zug has to be said. But it wasn't quite enough to keep him behind him till the checkered flag. However, though, as we've seen in previous outings, it's never over till it's over. So Marius Zug is going to keep fighting till the end here. Here's Lucas Müller in the 23, still ahead of Benedikt Hitz and still ahead of Mirko Bortolotti. Müller, the dominant force in this race. Was that the 10? Dropping back there, that was the 10 from Niels Langeveld. That's had a horrible race in P24, but not for Lucas Müller. He's going to need the championship coming out of Server 1. He wins the feature race at IMS Road Course. Benedikt Hitz comes through in P2. Mirko Bortolotti in P3. He finishes off the podium. Hendrik Augustin in P4. And Marius Zug P5. Walter Lux P7. Winston Eckel Walter Lux P6. Winston Eckel P7. Winston Eckel is not going to do anything. Winston Eckel is going to run out of fuel before the line. And Winston Eckel drops back to P8. Wow, wow, wow. Late drama in this race. Jens Fiedler P9, Florian Becker P10, Hugo Zasse 11, Mariko Jordanowski P12. Where? Ladies and gentlemen, where? I can't find him at the moment. As Jonas Van. Oh, there we go. P7. He was right in the midst of that. Of course. P7 for Jonas Vana. Having to make his way around now, Martin Stadtmann. In P23. He's the last one to cross the line. And then that was Server 1 already. Wow, wow, wow. So then, quickly, before we go anywhere, I want to make something up to someone who we couldn't quite have as an interview last week. Jan Lins, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
From
nice
what
to be here.
Yeah, from what I've heard, this is your interview debut.
Yeah, until now I have done every season, but yeah, I think I'm consistent, but not as fast as the guys in front. So lucky to have 2 or 3 podiums the last 2 race days.
Yeah, like you said, not quite as consistent. Same counts for this race once again. You didn't lose or gain any positions from where you started, but still, P25 wasn't the aim.
From what I saw, I got killed on every start. So had to tow to pit, and one time I thought I had a black and orange flag, and I thought I can race 1-2 laps to see how much fuel I should take, and then my engine blew, so I had to tow again. Yeah, car was nice, but yeah, got killed, and the first time driving it, all the others too, but yeah, not so lucky today.
What did you think of the car and track combination? Because the car seemed to be very difficult.
It's as I said, it was my first time with the car, but I have driven the V8 quite sometimes in the W12 series, and it's very similar to drive, but not as pointy, not as aggressive as the V8. So it's good, but I think I didn't reach any limit of myself or of the car, but I think it was nice. I would like to do the second server with the same car to prove how I can handle it, but not that, as I said, not that wanting to kill you as the V8.
All right, Jan, thank you very much, and hopefully some better luck for you in the second server.
Yeah, last two races were okay. Up to the Clio. Clio wasn't good for me, but the other races were okay, so just try to keep it on track and do what I can. And thanks a lot to you, to organization, and to Mirko. It's just a lot of fun and a pleasure to be here. That's everything that I have to say, and I really like it.
That is great to hear, Jan. Thank you very much. Let's go to
Thank
the
you,
draw.
Dan. And your stream is awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I watch it every time after the race, so keep it going like that.
That's great to hear. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too. Let's go to the draw. Well then, ready and steady for the draw. Mirko, how was that for a car and track combination?
Mate, you're talking too much.
Already.
Yeah, I expected more, but I think it was fun, to be honest. I don't know what the other drivers think, but yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. Quickly.
A bit weird to drive, let's say. A bit strange car, honestly, but yeah.
It was great action, at least. Quickly, before we do anything, I did see that two other drivers were in the interview waiting room. Pop back in there after the draw, and we'll do the interview after the draw.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yes, I am ready. Ready, steady.
Okay, sharing my screen.
All right, we are ready to go, Mirko. Let's see what it's going to be for server 2.
Yeah, as we discussed, we swapped the GT3 with the GT4, so please keep an eye on the latest entry list in case that's gonna be drawn. And all the other cars stay in there as we have the success weights in server 2. So from my side, we can start with the two cars.
Yes, let's do it. Last time, of course, was GTP at Rudskogen. That was a very interesting combination. And it looks like GT4, the one that has been moved to server 2, is going to be part of the final draw. So we could immediately have the new car added to server 2. Of course, was in server 1 before. But we could immediately have the car that is added to server 2 in the draw. Second car then. This is going to be GTE, GTP or Super Formula. We haven't had the Super Formula yet, but it is going to be in the draw. So that means a 100% guarantee of a new car this season in server 2. We're of course very well known to the GT4 here at the W12 series. Let's see which tracks we're going to go to.
So those are the options for server 2, and we will select 2 tracks. As we have the Super Formula as an option, we need to take 2 options that are eligible for that car.
So that means that there needs to be a little star behind the name of the track for it to be eligible. And that is the case with Sebring. So that's one of the tracks that we can go to. Sebring, of course, notoriously bumpy. The GT4s will handle that better than the Super Formulas. Let's see which other track is going to be in the final draw. It's going to be Phillip Island. That's an interesting one as well. That's also eligible.
Yeah, those are two tracks that have never been part of the W12 series, so really interesting draw.
Let's see then, in the end, which one of the two it will be. Two very interesting tracks. So, I think Phillip Island was all the way at the top. There it is. Two very interesting tracks we've never had. But a lot of new things here in the beginning of Season 5 of the W12 Sprint Series. And we like new and unexpected things.
Right, so I think we can just continue with the track and find out where we're gonna race for server 2. Let's go.
So it's gonna be either Sebring or Phillip Island. And then after that we will decide the car, but it looks like it's going to be Phillip Island. Another close one. We've not
Beautiful
had,
track.
for sure, this track is well, one of my favorites to just go to and just lap around, just for the sake of it, just because it's fun on iRacing with any car really. So then, GT4 or Super Formula. With Super Formula, we do have to mention we do have a different format in server 2 than we would have with the GT4, which would follow the normal format.
Yes, in any case, will be standing starts and two different formats just for the qualifying. Once again, if Super Formula gets drawn, then it will be a single lap quali, extended practice to 30 minutes. And if the GT4 will get drawn, then it's the standard format that we always had. So if you're ready, I think we can draw it.
Let's go for it. Let's find out which car it's going to be. GT4 Super Formula, will we have 30 minutes or 20 minutes of practice? It looks like, Mirko, it's going to be 30 minutes of practice and a one-lap qualifying.
New car, new track, so it's a really powerful car. So I invite everyone to practice also the starts. We don't want to see, drivers spinning or crashing at the start because it's quite difficult, especially in the first meters, to handle the car. So please get familiar with it. You have 30 minutes of practice. And also in this case, as we had already in server 1 on the Brazilian stock car, there is a push-to-pass function in this car. So make sure you can configure that on whatever button you have on the steering wheel or your PC. So have fun, enjoy, and see you after the second server.
We continue with the interviews later on in the commentary booth. So let's see if any of the drivers will join. And the answer is yes, they will. Benedict Hitz, welcome in. Tell us, how was the track combination, and how did it go for you?
Hi, first of all, nice to hear you again. First time this year. Yeah, it was difficult, obviously, but I managed to handle the car. Track was good. Great results, I'm happy.
We know that Sector 1 at IMS road course is a very technical sector. It looked like a lot of people were struggling with understeer in this car, especially in that first sector. Did you manage to iron that out, or were you one of those ones struggling with understeer?
Yeah, it was a mix. Under braking we had a lot of rear locking, so turning was quite difficult with oversteer, and then when you go on the throttle that's understeers out of the corner. Yeah, like I said, I think I found a great way to manage that car, and unfortunately a little bit slower than Lucas in front, but he was too quick today and managed that win. Was nice.
So now that we know the draw for server 2, the Super Formulas at Phillip Island, are you looking forward to it, or?
The The car, yes. The track I never raced before, so will be interesting. 30 minutes of practice. So yeah, will be funny, 100%.
At the moment, if I look at the championship, it looks like you're in P19. So a podium finish here is going to shoot you up the order. Are you looking to do more of the same in the second server?
Yeah, hopefully. The first 2 weeks were quite a mess for me. I had the pace always in practice and messed up qualifying or messed up a race start, or it doesn't got together. And now I'm back and hope to achieve more podiums and maybe more wins.
All right, Benedict, thank you very much and good luck in server 2.
Thank you.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wait for server 2 to go up, but before we do that, I quickly want to have a run of the order of the feature race. Lucas Müller wins, Hedda Benedict hits, Mirko Bortolotti in P3, Hendrik Augustin in P4, Walter Lux P5, Marius Zug 6, Jonas Warner 7th, Winston Eckel in P8, Jens Fiedler 9th, Florian Becker in 10th, Hugo Zasse P11, Marinko Jordanovski 12th, Lucas Kambert 13th, Maximilian Paul 14th, Ben Bühnagel 15th, Christopher Steiner in P16th, Hugo Hopp 17th, Henrik Störer P18th, Quinten Verdonk 19th, and Philippe Ugrin P20. Further on then, it is P21 for Christian Ablasa, Florian Stadtmann P22, Martin Stadtmann P23. Then Niels Langeveld a lap behind. He was one of the first ones a lap behind Jan Lins in P25. Mario Trumma in P26. Tom Lightgate 27. Matthew Ralston P28. Stefano Pellegrino P29. Then it is Torsten Gross, Thomas Egerwolf, Mikael Dörlinger and Chris Meyer not seeing the checkered flag. That is it for the server 1. We're going to be waiting for server 2 to get underway. While we do, don't go anywhere, because server 2 is going to be a banger with the Super Formula at Phillip Island.
Winston joined the interview booth. I can't drag you.
Die. Alright then, welcome back to this 4.4 kilometer long track. Welcome back to Phillip Island with the Super Formulas. You've seen the draw and you've heard what we said at the draw. This is a new combination for the W12 Sprint Series. And as always, it's going to be an absolute banger. But also what you've heard is the fact that we only have a one-shot qualifying in these cars and then a 18-minute race. That is done because the more you drive in the Super Formula, the quicker you get. And if you do an open qualifying and you, for example, crash someone out, that someone you crashed out would then be in a disadvantage because of no fault of his own. And that's why we've said we're going to practice for longer. We're going to give them just as much track time, but we're going to practice for longer. And we're going to qualify with only one lap. That is the reasoning there then. And you've just seen also some onboard pictures from the cars on the tracks because, goodness me, do they look and sound amazing. At the moment we're running lap times of 1:11. See if we can go on board with Niels Langerveld and see. There we go. Oh, traffic on the outside of turn 1. That is never ideal. Good line through turn 1 there though for Niels Langerveld. Ugo Rob at the moment in P2. It's a bit slidey, not quite ideal. Want to be through the twisty bits, want to be all the way to the right here. Doesn't use quite all of the track. Opens up this entry. It gets it nice and tight, I wanted to say, but the understeer in the second part of that braking phase is immense. The car is speeding off to the right hand side. There's one of his Gazek's teammates, and let's see what he's going to do across the line. We're going to have a run down to the line here. Across the line for him, that lap time was a 1:12.77. His lap time at the moment, a 1:11.73 from Hendrik Augustin. There we go, that is that done. On to qualifying now then. A one-shot qualifying. You don't have any attempts. It's one or nothing. And especially in this car, that makes it very tricky because the car is definitely not up to temperature after that first lap. Here's Jonas Vana in the beautiful retro Mercedes McLaren livery. Back in the day. And of course Lewis Hamilton won his first Drivers' World Championship. After that, as we now know, went on to win many, many more. Alright then, let's have a look on board with this man, Jonas Vana. Leading tidy through turn 1, then a long left-hander over the crest. Another left-hander, then a right-hander. Another left-hander, then a right-hander. Now from here it's all very technical. Watch out here, this is all very technical here. This is where you're going to make your lap time. Back country, the power, so much downforce in these cars. Svana takes purple, but that gets taken away from him immediately by Lucas Müller. You can hear the rumble. Here is Lucas Müller. Using the BMW Sauber livery. The one that Robert Kubica had his massive crash in. And across the line, he has 2 purple sectors. Where is he going to go, Lucas Müller? You would say to the top with that time, and yes, he does, by 0.6 of a second. Mirko Bortolotti jumps up to P2, only 0.3 behind him. You say only 0.3, but in racing, that is a year. 0.3 of a second, but because the rest is so far off, you say only. Because if you look at everyone who's behind him, Becker, Vana, Ugre, Fiedler, Jordanovski, they're all at least 6.5 of a second off, which is quite a big margin. All the drivers continuing, getting as much practice in as they can. Usually your second lap will be quicker, but that's not the case at the moment for Lucas Müller. He goes into pit lane, he practices that again. Look how much downforce there is. Look how sharp this car can turn. Look how quick it can stop compared to the cars we were in just a moment ago. Those cars were heavy, didn't have the best brakes. So compared to that, it's a huge, huge upgrade. Well then, that looks like we've set our grid. Hendrik Augustin is going to start from P4. Walter Lux in the top 3 as well. Mirko Bortolotti right behind his championship rival Lucas Müller. Jonas Vana only manages P7. That is his worst qualifying result so far this season. So that's not too great for him. Jan Lintz is on his first lap, but he can't complete it. And that gives us our grid for race 1. And let's take a look at that grid together. Well then, the grid is led by the one, the only Lucas Müller ahead of Mirko Bortolotti, then Walter Lux in P3, Hendrik Augustin in 4th, Florian Becker 5th, Hugo Rob 6th, Jonas Vana 7th, Niels Langeveld 8th, Philipp Ugre P9, Jens Fiedler 10th, Marinko Jordanovski 11th, Maarten Stadtmann in P12, Torsten Gross P13, Stefano Pellegrino 14th, Benedict Hitz 15th, Mario Trummer in 16th, Florian Stadtmann 17th, Quinten Verdonk 18th, Winston Eckel 19th, Mikkel Derlinger P20, Matthew Ralston P21, Lucas Kambert P22, Christoph Steiner P23, Christian Ablasser P24, P25 for Thomas Egelwolf, Henrik Steurer P26, 27 Marius Zug, Benny Moser P28, Maximilian Paul in P29, Hugo Zasse P30, Chris Meyer P31, P32 for Jan Lintz, 33rd for Tom Leitgeb, and Ben Buhnagel in P34. Well then, that was our grid for the race. Lucas Müller. Here he is. This is what he can see. This is what we will be able to see. Have a great view of the top 2 launching away. The top 2, Lucas Müller, Mirko Bortolotti. There's more than only a race win up for grabs here. Points in the championship that are very important. You can't see the red lights, but it's 3, 4, 5.
Green, green, green.
And we're green at Phillip Island. A very good start from Mirko Bortolotti. Immediately jumps up into pole position. That is a great start for him. Exactly what he was hoping for. And Walter Lux has also gotten past Lucas Müller. That is not what Lucas Müller wanted. And from turn 2, you can see how tight it is. Now coming up through the field. Also important from both sides. Both from Müller and from Bortolotti. Lucas Müller has already re-overtaken Walter Lux, who's also having a great evening so far with server 2 and server 1 combined. Jonas Warner, a great start for him. He is up 3. Further in the background, Florian Becker fighting with Niels Langeveld. These two going at it. Philippe Hugrin. Behind Jens Fiedler, Jonas Warner into the pits already. Jonas Warner once again doing a different strategy to everyone else. This time doing it from a P4 position. You have short laps here, so a pit stop is going to cost you a lot in terms of traffic. He's not the only one. Suk, Hendrik Störer, Maximilian Paul, Tom Leitgeb, Mario Trummer, Mariko Jordanowski, Stefano Pellegrino, Mikael Dörlinger, Matthew Ralston, Torsten Gross, and Chris Meyer is the drivers that we have in. I have a feeling a couple of them is for a retirement out of this race, sadly. This is the battle behind. This is Martin Stadtmann to Christoph Steiner. Christoph Steiner for the Gorillas AVL Racetech Sim Racing. Maximilian Paul. Chasing down Hendrik Störer up the hill. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there. Inside he goes, that's beautifully done. That is what experience does for you. He keeps the outside because he knows he's going to brake later into turn 2. The right-hander, that one is flat in these cars. Just to tell you once again how much downforce these cars have. Mirko Bortolotti is under pressure from Lucas Müller. Lucas Müller just posted the fastest lap and he was over 0.3 of a second quicker than Mirko Bortolotti. Mirko hasn't looked nearly as quick as he did in the previous seasons, and I think there's an overtake activated. Yes, you can see that by the green lights flashing. Both drivers using their overtake. So then Mirko Bortolotti now behind Lucas Müller. Have 2 overtakes in a race. Mirko just used one of them. So did Lucas Müller. Looks like at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Müller is going to set off into the sunset. Oh, a little bit of a mistake once again, but he looks to just get out of every corner a little bit better than Mirko seems to be able to do. Mirko has either cooked his rear tyres or Müller has found something that no one else was able to find. To Walter Lux then, this is what he sees, the Austrian. This is Ben Buhnagel, he's behind Quinten Verdonk. This is for P3, the silver class. Ugrai is in P6 for the silvers, and Stadtmann in P8. Florian Stadtmann ahead of Martin Stadtmann. Martin Stadtmann at the moment in P19. Florian Stadtmann in P8. So doing a tremendous job. Same counts for Ben Buhnagel. Doing a tremendous job to keep up with Verdonk, who's been proving to be so quick. Even quick enough for there to be rumors that he was going to be upgraded to gold. Whether or if those rumors are true, we'll have to wait. But there are talks in the paddock and in the Discord server that he might be going to gold. Oh, is that off? Who was that off? Was that Maximilian Paul? I think it was. Oh my goodness, Jens Fiedler! We join him at a terrible moment. Off the track, big crash for Jens Fiedler. And he was in such a promising position as well. Here we go. Oh no. Oh no. That was the wrong one, by the way. There we go. That's the one we're trying to have. Marinko Jordanovski was involved in it. That's why Marinko Jordanovski spins off to the inside. But that is very weird. That rear tire just popped off, so did the front right. Well, this car not happy. Back to live racing. There was the stranded car. Stranded car from Jens Fiedler. Into the pits goes Lukas Müller. This is an early pit stop. It's going to take a different strategy. I think this is to partially cover off. Yeah, I think this is to partially cover off Jonas Varna. Here's Jonas Varna. He's going to be coming onto the straight now. Here we go. Where is Lukas Müller? There he is. He's almost on pit exit. He is on pit exit. A bit squirmy on pit exit. And that might be crossing the white line. He might get a penalty for that. But Jonas Varna is right behind him now. And if Mirko Bortolotti doesn't watch out, he might get overtaken by Jonas Varna as well. Because Jonas is running some incredible pace in clean air. Look at that. He's all over the back of Lukas Müller now. There's a mandatory tyre change as well for the drivers. That means that the tyres are not at the temp for Lukas Müller. That means the tyres are at the temp for Jonas Varna. And Jonas Varna has once again played a strategy masterclass. As it looks for the moment, 9.5 minutes left. Then we'll know if Jonas Varna has indeed played a strategy masterclass. The pace is there for Jonas Varna. But what is Lukas Müller going to be able to do on those new fresh set of tyres once they come up to temp? Oh, he's using overtake. There he goes. He's using overtake for lap time and to overtake Jonas Varna down the inside of turn 1. That is job very much well done. Next one on the list for Müller then is some back markers. The back markers gets out of the way nicely. That's very well done. Back in the form of Thomas Egenwolf and Stefano Pellegrino. Lots of losses on the back of Mirko Bortolotti. We join once he tries to go for the overtake. Has he used any overtake seconds or any overtake usage? What I can see, he has But he can do it without any overtake. Mikko Bortolotti defends the inside. The cutback from Walter Lux. Couldn't quite make it. Tell you who has 0. The man who has 0 at the moment is Christoph Steiner. He has 0 uses left. Bortolotti still right behind him. A mistake. Who was that ahead? Couldn't quite identify it. Jonas Varner and Lucas Müller. This is the gap between those two now. This is the battle for the effective lead before they've made the pit stops. Okay, there's the overtake from Mirko Bortolotti. He has 50 seconds left. He used that for lap time. There was no one ahead of him to overtake. Just using it for lap time. And that might be a smart decision. Langeveldt is quick as well. He's made his pit stop. He also has his overtake on. Statman still needs to pit. Benedict Hitz still needs to pit. And Mirko Bortolotti still needs to pit. Those are the only drivers who still need to pit. Langeveldt just set the fastest lap. He also has no overtake left now. That's something to keep in mind. No overtake left for Niels Langeveldt, but he goes past Jonas Varner because of a mistake from Jonas Varner himself. Jonas Varner fights back on the inside. Come on him there. He's not going to give up that position. Niels Langeveldt doesn't have any overtake anymore. Benedict Hitz and Florian Statman into the pit lane. Mirko Bortolotti continues. He's going to go down the inside with purely slipstream. So then, it's a bit wide, it's a bit early for Niels. He gets it down, Florian Statman out of the pit lane. It's behind Hugo Zasse. Now second in the silver class, Philippe Brugger. He is up front in that class. Rotation. 70 seconds of overtake left though. He's going to use that to great advantage here. Moving your overtake on during a corner doesn't seem like that is the smartest decision. for the straight. He's not using it. Well then, what will be the quickest? Jonas Varner dropping back compared to Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld has the inside this time, but the inside for the right-hander for Jonas Varner. We're on board with Jonas Varner. He makes it stick. What can Niels Langeveld do about it? He can cut back. He's not quite going to make that work though. Jonas Varner knows where to put his car, knows where to defend, knows where to outbrake. Winston Eckel at the moment 13th overall. Behind him in the overall cross, Benny Moser. Christoph Steiner in between the two. Through goes Christoph Steiner. Next one on the list, Benny Moser in the McLaren liveried Super Formula. Here's Lucas Müller, comfortably leading this race at the moment. Marco Bortolotti, 1.3 seconds, was not overtaken by Jonas Varner. Jonas Varner is dropping back now. Jonas Varner is dropping back massively. What's happened to Jonas Varner? What has happened to Jonas Varner? The front wing looks fine. Everything looks fine on that car. Has he found a tire drop-off? Is this just pure tires for Jonas Varner? Remember, he pitted very early. So this could well be tires only for Jonas Varner. No one really knows. But the fact that his pace dropped so much all of a sudden is a bit suspicious. Well, the drivers still have some push to pass left, so that counts for Mirko Bortolotti. Not, however, for Lucas Müller, and Mirko Bortolotti is using it now. But Mirko Bortolotti is out of overtake as well. And that's when you see the red light flash on the top of the roll bar. He's not going to have enough. The white flag was out. Mirko Bortolotti tried everything tactically with the push to pass, but he couldn't quite make it because Lucas Müller was once again one step too big for Mirko Bortolotti. It's a run to the line, but it's easily going to be Lucas Müller. Congratulations to Lucas Müller, he built on his lead. Mirko Bortolotti in second. Niels Langeveld makes it a 2-3 for Gazex. Walter Lux in P4. But that wasn't quite what Mirko was hoping for. He did set the fastest lap, so he gets the extra point for that. Jonas Varner only P6. So he once again loses massive points after, well, two very good opening races, or two very good opening weeks. Some people finish this race with overtake left. I can assure you one thing, Martin Stadtmann isn't going to do that. Across the line for Martin Stadtmann, and that is everyone across the line, I think, except Mikael Dörlinger, who decides to go for another spin round the track. He is the one we are waiting for at the moment. Oh, he goes into pit lane. Well then. Does he have some kind of penalty that is going to drop him down? Mikael Dörlinger at the moment in P26. And I think he's going to stay P26. Well then, that's everyone finished. Here's the checkered flag for him. Everyone across the line. And that is that done and dusted. Well then, let's take a look at the results from that race. Lucas Müller wins ahead of Ilko Bortolotti in second. Niels Langeveld rounds off the podium. Walter Lux in fourth and Benedict Hitz in fifth. Jonas Vana sixth. Philippe Hugrin seventh. Hugo Rob eighth. Florian Stadtmann in ninth. And Quinten Verdonk rounding off the top 10. Hugo Zasse in 11th. And Ben Buhnagel. Winston Eckel 13. Benny Moser 14. Christoph Steiner 15. Tom Leitgeb 16. Martin Stadtmann 17. Jan Linz in 18th. Christian Ablasser 19th. Hendrik Augustin P20. P21 for Stefano Pellegrino, Florian Becker, P22, Jens Fiedler 23rd, Lucas Krambe, P24, Torsten Gross, P25, Michael Dörlinger, P26, Thomas Egelwolf, P27, Mario Trummer, P28, Matthew Routen in 29th, and Hendrik Steurer in P30. Then P31, P32, P33, P34, Marinke Jordanowski, Marius Souk, Maximilian Paul, and Chris Meyer, all not seeing the checkered flag. That was that. Let's take a look at the grid then. For this next race, Jan Linz will start on pole position ahead of Martin Stadtmann. Then in third, Tom Leitgeb, Christoph Steiner, P4, Benny Moser, P5, Winston Eckel, P6, Ben Buhnagel, 7, Hugo Zasse, 8, Quinten Verdonk, 9, Florian Stadtmann, 10, Hugo Rob, 11, Philippe Hugrin, P12. P13, Jonas Vana, 14, Benedict Hitz, Walter Lux, 15, Niels Langeveld, 16, Mirko Bortolotti, 17, and Lucas Müller rounding off the reversed grid top 18. The rest is as you've seen it in the result. That's how they will start. All the way back to Chris Meyer. Here we go. Once again, we have a Kazakh car close on our screen. This time you can see the 5 red lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Green, green, green.
And we're green, green, green for the last time this evening for week 3. A good start from Martin Stadtmann. Once again, not the best start from a pole to Jan Linz. And then here's Martin Stadtmann, the lead he wanted. Ahead of Christoph Steiner for the Gorillas. Gorillas, that's him off. Christoph Steiner off the track. Oi, oi, oi. Did he manage to keep it out of the wall? Let's hope so for him. Martin Stadtmann ahead with about a second of a gap over Quinten Verdonk. Then Jan Linz in P3, Hugo Rob 4, Jonas Vana in 5th, Niels Langeveld 6th, Benny Moser 7th, Walter Lux 8th, Florian Stadtmann 9th, Mirko Bortolotti in 10th. There has been a crash at the start. And it looks like Lucas Müller was involved in it. Here's Lucas Müller's car. It looks fine from the outside. But how does it feel from the inside? He's up to P21 at the moment, but his rivals, his championship rivals, are up to P4 and up to P8 respectively on this first lap. Some people, once again, pitting early. Jonas Vana being one of them. We know that Mirko Bortolotti is probably going to save some overtake, or he's going to use some to get past the slower guys ahead of him. Martin Stadtmann still leading, 1.6 seconds. He now needs to build. This is what he needs to do, because the guys behind him, the only thing they will be doing is gaining. And as soon as they have the clean air to you, it doesn't take long. In the background, Niels Langeveld's going to try and make his way past Jan Linz. He does so successfully. So that's one hurdle cleared. Next hurdle is Quinten Verdonk for Mirko Bortolotti. And he's going to get on to the back of Jan Linz. That's also going to be shortly. Marius Souk side by side with Mario Trummer. On the outside! And now he's off the track. Please take care, rejoining. He does. But that has lost him heaps of time. He's now lost of the drivers who haven't made their pit stop. Quinten Verdonk, something has happened to him as well. He was leading in the silvery class, and that is a mistake from him. Martin Statman now leading by 3.6 seconds, but he can see on his relative just as well as we can that he has Niels Langeveld and Mirko Bortolotti behind him. Now don't get me wrong, Martin Statman is definitely not slow, but from the last couple of races that we've seen, he's definitely not Mirko Bortolotti or Niels Langeveld caliber. Not quite yet, but who knows, in this car it might be different. On this track it might be different. Let's hope that it's going to be different, because we would love to see Martin Statman take up a victory here. It's been so long ago since he did, and he deserves one. But he still has to survive 14 and a bit minutes. And that is quite a while when you're under such big pressure from behind. Even though they're not right behind you, you know that they're getting closer. And you know they will be coming closer. Here's Niels Langeveld, the man that will be coming closer. At the moment it's a 1-2-3 for Gazax. So it's a full Gazax podium. Then it's Jan Lins, Philippe Ugra, he can make it a 1-2-3-4. Stefano Pellegrino, also Gazax. Marinko Jordanovski, also Gazax. So at the moment in the top 7, it's 6 Gazax cars, which is something that we've never had, especially in the W12 series. So if it would finish like this, we would have a unicum. At the moment, it is Jan Lins for Fach Autotech Esports, who is the cork in the bottle. Top 4 now is Gazax. Stefano Pellegrino trying to catch up to Jan Lins to make it a 1-2-3-4-5. In the background though, Marinko Jordanovski under pressure from Jens Fiedler. Jens Fiedler so far this evening has proven to us that he can be very, very quick in these cars. He can be rapid. He's gained 15 positions from where he started. Marinko Jordanovski, 24 positions gained. He started all the way from the back of the field, and he's had such a consistent and good race. But will he be able to keep Jens Fiedler behind? Lucas Grambert is closely followed by Maximilian Paul. Oh, board with Maximilian Paul. Oh no, Maximilian! That's not how you went to the pit lane, goodness me! That gave me a heart attack going into pit lane. Man who won his first ever DTM race this year. Tires off. And there we go. Now he has cold tires, so watch that. But the man who won his first ever DTM race this year. Almost went into the pit wall. Bortolotti now still behind. Niels Langeveld, Martin Statman still keeping a gap of 2.36 seconds to Niels Langeveld behind him. Wouldn't be enough at the rate that Niels Langeveld is catching at the moment. The question also is how much push to pass, or how much overtake is Niels using compared to Martin. That's something that we don't know. This is on pure pace without any overtakes or anything. And I'm worried for Martin that it is very possible that they both come shooting through at some point, because Mirko is saving. Jens Fiedler has been overtaken by Marinko Jordanovski. So then it's now a Gazax 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's Fiedler trying to put a spanner in the works for them. Keep in mind, all of them still have to pit. As Vana, the first car of those who have pitted. If you look at the lap time from Jonas Vana, 111.93, that is quicker than Martin Stratman did, but not quicker than Niels Langeveld and Mirko Bortolotti. So compared to them, he's not really gaining anything. The drivers at the end of the day that he's trying to gain on. Philippe, he has no push to pass left, no overtake left, neither does Christoph Steiner. Rob is on the back of Florian Becker. That's his teammate. We've seen inter-team calamity at Indianapolis. We don't want to see it again. There was a little bit of smoke from the tyres rubbing. But once again, Hugo Rob can't make his way past. Has to stay behind. Martin Stadtmann has entered the pit lane. He's going to stop. He's going to wait for his tyres to go on. Drops down and off he goes. Stein just posted the fastest lap of the race, 111.12. That is the fastest lap of the race by quite a mile. But we don't know what kind of overtake usage that was. Lucas Müller, 111.36. He's still in P21. So for him, this was a good evening, but at the end of the day, it might all even out if he gets a zero result, if he doesn't score with Mirko Bortolotti and Niels Langeveld going long and going quick. Vana just posted his personal fastest lap, 111.8. Mirko Bortolotti, 112.1 last time round, 112.0 this time round. This is not quick enough. At this point, Jonas Vana is going to overtake him as well. Still a long time to go, 8 minutes here in this race with a mandatory tyre change. Fiedler is dropping back. He, together with Lucas Kambert, has just made his pit stop. And still, it is a GasX podium. Niels Langeveld, Mirko Bortolotti, Marinko Jordanovski, all driving for GasX Racing Team. From Niels Langeveld last time round. 111.98 this time round. Let's see what Jonas Vana does. 111.78 last time round. Another personal best lap. I'll keep an eye on the timing screen to see what kind of time Jonas Vana does. He's come across start finish now. A 111.64, he's quick. He could pick up the lead of the race if he stays like this. A quick pit stop, quick pace after the pit stop as well from Jonas Vana. With Lucas Müller nowhere in sight. It looks likely that Jonas Vana is going to pick up the lead here. It took him a little while, but that would mean that he would finally be back to winning ways. Mirko Bortolotti continues another lap. Niels Langeveld is in. Let's see where Niels Langeveld comes back. If he comes back behind Jonas Vana, then we know that Mirko Bortolotti is going to come back behind Jonas Vana. Where is Jonas Vana at the moment? Jonas Vana is in P7. He's coming onto the straight right now. Where is Niels Langeveld? He's out now. This is going to be close. There is Jonas Vana. There is Niels Langeveld coming up to speed. But remember, his tires are not at the temperature at all. He still has to bring them up to temperature. I don't think Mirko Bortolotti is going to be ahead of Jonas Vana. If I see how close it is with Niels Langeveld, then I don't think he's going to be back. Niels Langeveld is using push to pass. So is Jonas Vana. Langeveld seems to have warmed up his tires really quickly. Look at the gap he's building already to Jonas Vana. Bortolotti, when is he going to come in? He's still continuing. Still continuing. He's going to leave it very late. We don't know how much push to pass he's left. I can bet you he's going to use all of it. He's not going to leave 1 second on the table. Lucas Müller at the moment in P18. That's now P17. Florian Becker pitted. That is now going to become P16 because Jan Lins pitted. But that is it. That is all that Lucas Miller's going to get from now. He has to do it himself. Mirko Bortolotti, when is he going to pit? That might be now. And it is now. Mirko Bortolotti into the pit lane. Meanwhile, we go to Quinten Verdonk and Lucas Kambert. These two have been fighting it out for quite a while now. Lucas Kambert finally has gotten past. Here's Niels Langeveld. Mirko Bortolotti's in. He's not even stationary yet. Now he is. You don't have to be stationary for long in these cars. The gap to Vana is quite big from Langeveld. Where is Mirko Bortolotti going to join back? There goes Jonas Vana, and there is Mirko Bortolotti. He's even been overtaken by Martin Stadtmann again. Martin Stadtmann might actually see the podium here. 2.5 seconds is the gap. How much push to pass has Niels Langeveld used in the last couple of laps? 2.5 minutes to go. You never really know in these cars until you cross the finish line or you see that someone has 0 push to pass left. 0 push to pass for Hugo Ropp and Benny Moser. And as Augustin is just overtaken Benny Moser with the push to pass. That's how you use that tactically. Christoph Steiner will try and make his way around the outside of Tom Lightgate. Not there, you don't do that there. Christian Ablasser is on the outside of him now. Some connection issues though for Christian Ablasser. This is never nice to fight with. Tom Lightgate now up to P23, but he was once P3. He's dropped all the way down to P23. Something must have happened to him. Also for Christoph Steiner, he was P4 at some point. He's now P24. Marinko Jordanovski is in a battle with Marius Zuk and Benny Moser. Benny Moser having a look to the inside of Marinko Jordanovski. Couldn't quite make it stick, didn't even go for the move. Marius Zuk in P8. He could potentially be under threat now from Marinko Jordanovski. Both of them using the push to pass. Benedikt Hitz is also side by side with Lucas Müller. At the inside goes Benedikt Hitz. Niels Langeveld, where is he? He's going to start the final lap now. With a gap of 1.7 seconds to Jonas Vana. Jonas Vana has no push to pass left. So he could be under attack here from both Martin Stadtmann and Mirko Bortolotti. They're both using it. And they're edging ever closer to Jonas Vana. But Jonas Vana is experienced enough that he knows how to defend this. Once again, both using push to pass, both having push to pass left. Niels Langeveld has also run out. But these two still giving it absolutely everything. And rightly so. With the push to pass that they have left, they might be able to try something to the run to the line. Mirko Bortolotti still has left. Martin Stadtman is almost out. Martin Stadtman is out. Mirko Bortolotti still has left. Is Mirko Bortolotti then going to do the unthinkable? Is he going to take two to the line? He isn't. Niels Langeveld is going to come across the final corner of this racetrack with a 2.2 second gap and a mighty drive. It is Niels Langeveld who wins at Phillip Island in the Super Formula. Jonas Vana behind him in P2. Martin Stadtman together with Mirko Bortolotti. The drive race to the line. And it is going to be Martin Stadtman ahead of Mirko Bortolotti. Brilliant drive from Martin. Brilliant drive from Mirko Bortolotti, giving us a fight to the end. And that is what W12 is about. Wow. Winner in the silver class, Stefano Pellegrino. So that goes to Gazax as well. Mikael Dörlinger, this is a drag race to the line as well. This is for P26, a drag race to the line. And the both of them have, well, 0.02 of a second in between them. Wow. Well, that's what happens when you crash one of these cars. But they had 0.02 of a second between them at the line. Great, we were able to pick that up. But what a race that was. And we'll start with Mirko Bortolotti. Mirko, welcome in.
Thanks, mate. Good evening.
Mirko, that was a heck of a race from a spectator point of view. How was it for you driving this car at this track?
Great fun, great fun. Mega combo, mega track. From what I heard, everyone liked it. And yeah, it was a fun evening. So great to see once again a good field and you know everyone enjoying it. And it's been a good evening also for me and for the team, so it's great.
Tell us a bit more about your server 1. We weren't able to talk to you after server 1, but how did that go for you?
Not too bad actually. So struggled a lot with the car, and it's quite a special car to be honest. And yeah, I think we made the maximum out of it. It was, you know, I really didn't get on with the car really well, and yeah, you don't have a lot of time to practice, so it's, you know, trying to find your references and not making any big mistakes and bringing the car home basically. Try to survive and manage to do so. So but it's still a good fun car to drive in the end. The Brazilian stock car. It's just that nobody really drives it much, and that makes things a lot more interesting. But that's also why we put it in.
This was also the first time, Mirko, that we had a car with a push-to-pass function in the W12 Sprint Series. How did you manage that? Because it seems like you were one of the drivers who like to save it up for the end.
Yeah, it's push to pass function that works differently in both cars. There is like a big delay on the Brazilian stock car, and then you have I think a 90-second break once you decide to or before you can use it again, let's say. In the Super Formula it's a bit more straightforward. You can manage it a bit better. Let's say you can decide when to activate it and when to switch it back off, and once you switch it off you have a resting time before you can activate it again. But yeah, for sure it's a big tool that can make a big difference also for the strategy. I think in race 1 in the main race here with the Super Formula, those few laps before the pit stop where I started to fight with Walter looks. He was using the push to pass quite a lot in that phase. At the end, maybe cost me the win, but that's why it's so fun, because all the drivers are free to choose it and to use it whenever they want, and the tactics starts to play as well, and yeah, it's quite interesting the way it is. It's a bit different to GTE or the LMDH or the GT3 GT3s that we're using most of the time. So it's quite a good, it spices things up, bringing new cars in, and it makes it interesting.
All right, Maker. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thanks.
Let's move on to Stefano Pellegrino. Stefano, welcome in. First of all, congratulations on your silver victory. Tell us, how was it?
Oh, thank you. My first lap, I think the only two, no crash, no crash, no crash. And after lap one, I was in the, I think is a great position. Then after I lot push, push, push. And I trust for the victory in silver, because also Philip Painan is one of my favorite track. And
Okay.
yes, feeling good with my super formula, and really happy for my first win in silver.
Yeah, congratulations with that. How was the push to pass function? Because it was the first time ever in W12 we're using something like that. How did you go about using it, and when did you use it?
I use it in the start, the last corner, until the turn one. Only yes, only this part.
And were you able to do that for every lap, or just for a couple of laps?
No, one lap yes, one lap no, one lap yes.
Oh, okay. So you were switching in between the laps. Okay. Well, Stefano, thank you very much, and once again, congratulations on your first ever silver victory.
Thank you.
On to Niels Langeveld then. Well, Niels, it's been a long time ago since we met. First of all, congratulations on your victory. How was it?
Thank you very much. It was fantastic.
I don't know who told you to put on this voice for the interview, but I like it.
I have to be a bit quiet because my girlfriend is sleeping in the room next to me.
Ooh, that's always tricky. Sim racing with a girlfriend sleeping in, or just anyone sleeping in the room next to you.
Basically.
Was there some point where you thought, okay, I want to shout?
No, but I honestly I was really happy with this result because the stock car was really bad from my side. In the first race, the qualifying was also not as good because normally I should have been much faster. And then in the race, I made up some places, finished P4, and then the second race, yeah, it was just surviving the first couple of laps, and then trying to make qualifying laps, and then I really got into a good rhythm. So yeah, really happy with my first win of the season. Definitely.
As you said, server one didn't quite go your way. Can you tell us a bit more about what went wrong there?
Well, you can better ask what didn't went wrong. Everything went wrong. No, it's just had a bit of the qualifying was a mess. Qualified P10. Then on the straight in the main race, two people touched each other from our same team, and I was driving on the left side, and then there was a big crash. Then it got from bad to worse, and yeah, it is what it is. So hopefully no more stock car in the future.
Final question. Final question then from my side, Niels. You mentioned it yourself, the multi-car crash from Gazax. Is there anything you want to comment about that? Because there's one thing we know in racing, and that's you never hit your teammate.
I think it was just a bit unlucky that they were together and there was a bit of wheels colliding into each other. But we should have left a little bit more space for each other to be sure that these kind of things don't happen. bad luck, but also not my car, the stock car. I don't like it. Give me the Super Formula. It's a good car.
All right, Niels. Well, thank you very much, and let's hope for you then. No more stock car in the future in Server One.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks a lot again. It was really nice to be here.
Thank you very much, Niels.
Okay, ciao.
On to our third place finisher in the silver class, then Philip Hoekrijn. Welcome in.
Hello.
First of all, congratulations on your podium. Tell us, how tricky was this car and track combination? Because it was a very fast one.
Yeah, was the first time driving on this track for me, actually, and the Super Formula was like the second time I've done for 5 laps before, but yeah, I really liked it.
What exactly did you like so much about the car?
I like from the last corner to T2, the flat part is really fast, and you feel the downforce of the car.
How was Server 1 for you? Because that seemed to be a very tricky combination for a lot of people. How was that for you?
Yeah, unfortunately I was not home, just I entered like 2 minutes before the end of the practice, and I've never drove that track in that car. So I jumped, let's say, straight into the quali without knowing where the track was going, so I improved a bit during the races, but it didn't really fit me.
All right, Philip, thank you very much and congratulations on your podium.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well then, that was it for this evening. Once again, 2 very great servers. We had the Super Formula at Phillip Island in server 2 that gave us cracking racing, and we had, of course, IMS, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the road course with the Brazilian stock car, which was tricky for some and victorious and delightful for others. That is what W12 is all about. Join us next week once we are back racing and once we are back drawing one of our cars and servers. Because as you know, we never know what we're going to do next week. Until then, stay safe and we'll see you there. Bye-bye.